Yes, Shifu. Yes, we can hear.
Yes, I can hear Shifu.
Okay, I need to test that you can hear the handbell. Yes? Okay.
Yes.
All right, Shifu is outside of my regular place, so I'm hoping that the connection here will be stable enough. We'll see.
We hear you okay, Shifu.
All right, let us start the class.
Put our palms together and we respectfully invite Jianhu Shifu to start today's class.
Okay. Okay, you are seeing the document, right?
Yes, Shifu.
Okay, good. All right. Let us begin with a few minutes of meditation. All right. So we can close our eyes or lower our eyes. We practice breathing. We use the knowing part of our mind to focus on the breathing. So we simply become aware of the breathing process. Our body is upright. Firm. yet relaxed. Our attention is on the breath. Breathing in, breathing out. Now notice that breathing is not actually divided by different breaths. Breathing is one continuous, long, never-ending process. At each moment, you are either in the process of breathing in or in the process of breathing out. Either way, at this moment, at the present moment, you are aware of what's going on. You notice the air around your nose. You know that there is an action, automatic action of your body. The air is being pulled in or coming out. There is no effort. It just happens. Each moment, the mind is aware. The mind is calm. The mind is clear. Now we know that it is easy to feel stressed or worried in life, but it is quite amazing that if you simply focus on the breath, simply being aware of the breathing, then the stress can go away. Because the stress and the worrying is caused by our conscious mind. When we let the conscious mind, conscious, judging, thinking part of our mind rest, take a back seat, and bring the knowing part of our mind to the center, to the front, then immediately, almost immediately, we can feel very much at ease. Okay, I don't have my computer today, so I'm borrowing somebody's computer, and so the screen is gonna look a little bit different. But it's okay, it shouldn't affect our class. Okay, so last week we were looking at this topic, awakening by emptiness. So let us quickly review the couple of stories we looked at. The first one is no merit, which involves Bodhidharma, the very first Chinese Chan patriarch. Of course, he's not Chinese, he's from India, but he became the one that started the Chinese school in China, right? So he met the emperor of southern China at the time, and they didn't hit off. The emperor did a lot of things for Buddhism. He was a very devoted Buddhist emperor. And he asked, how much merit do I have? And Bodhidharma said, no merit. Well, he basically is saying that that is not true merit. Okay, it's like a good dream. You get this, this karma, there's consequences, cause and consequences, but once the fortune or the blessing, the result of your good karma play out, you don't have it anymore. They don't last. So good deeds bring blessings, merits, but even as you enjoy those blessings, they are fleeting. So Bodhidharma wanted to show the emperor true merit. What is true merit? What is the bliss that lasts? The true freedom. But then the emperor didn't understand it. Yeah. In the second story, Bodhidharma went to Shaolin Temple, and then he eventually, the person, the monk that's going to be the one to continue the lineage, yeah, he was awakened by Bodhidharma. He became the second Chan patriarch, and his name was Huike. And so he was standing outside in the snow, cold and tired and exhausted all day. And finally, he got to have a session with Bodhidharma. And Bodhidharma asked him, what do you seek? And the Huike, the young monk Huike, he said, my mind is not at peace. my mind is not at peace. Please show me how to calm, pacify my mind. And Bodhidharma said, bring me your mind. And Huike contemplated on this strange question for a long time and said, I cannot find it anywhere. And Bodhidharma said, you're done. I've pacified your mind for you. So this is one of the earliest and the most important koan or Zen story. Yeah, where is your mind? So this points directly to the nature of the mind as we know it. Yeah. So what do you call your mind? What do we know about our mind? What we do know is that the mind can think, the mind can feel, the mind can have emotions. The mind sometimes, have good thoughts, sometimes have bad thoughts, sometimes have just useless thoughts. So what we know, what every person know of their mind, I'm not talking about philosophers or scientists or experts. We're talking about ordinary people. The way you know your experience with your mind is, well, I have thoughts, I have feelings. My mind seems to be always going, right? I use my mind to experience, to feel, to think, to judge, to decide, to see, to know, to learn. Yeah, I can do these things with my mind. It's quite powerful. But if you ask yourself, where is your mind? Nobody has a good answer. The ordinary people or experts in any field, nobody has a good answer. Where is your mind? Some people may think, oh, my mind is my brain, in my brain, right? No, that is a guess. There's no proof that your mind is in your brain or your brain is your mind. That is a guess. Nobody actually knows what thoughts are. And if you think that your mind is your brain, you cannot prove that these neural circuits, these neurons coming in, firing and silencing, this connection of your neurons, how can that produce all your emotions and your knowledge and your learning and your seeing experiences? Nobody can prove that. All right? So, you don't actually know what the mind is. What is the body? What is the essence? What is the substance? What is it made of? Where is it? You can't even answer that. So Huike, of course, he lived 1,500 years ago. He, just like us today, we don't have an answer. I cannot find the mind anywhere. But the strange or the curious thing is that Bodhidharma said, well, there, you're done. So this is really beautiful. There is a beautiful and deep insight there. We're not talking about neuroscience. We're not talking about philosophy. We're talking about, okay, if you cannot find your mind, then how real is your worry? So the insight here is that things pass. What you do know about your thought and your feelings are, they come and they go, don't they? If you look back 10 years ago, what are the things you worried about? What were the things that... And now you look back, in those years, do they stress you anymore? No, it's kind of like a dream. Yeah? So things pass. If they pass, then, and that you're no longer worried about things that happened years ago, should you really worry about things that happen right now? Why can't I just snap out of that incessant cycle of worrying or stressing? Why don't I just jump out and say, okay, if I'm not going to worry about this 10 years from now, why should I worry about it now? Because no matter when, the nature of my thoughts and my feelings, they are fleeting, they are impermanent, they come and go. They are produced by a certain set of conditions. Some situation, made me think this way or feel this way. But these conditions, they will change too. So instead of worrying about this, how about I just face it and think about what can I do? It's kind of like the engineering mindset, which is when an engineer is faced with the issue, the machine broke down. How do you design a something to do something? How do you write a program to perform this and that? When an engineer is faced with a problem like that, they think about, okay, what steps do I take to solve this problem? Instead of sitting there, oh no, why do I have this problem? Why don't other people have this problem? What if I can't resolve this problem? Worrying about it doesn't do anything, right? There's no point being philosophical about it either. And so you just simply, calmly stay in the present and look at, okay, what should I do? What step should I take? And then if you make a mistake, so be it. Everybody makes mistakes all the time. So it's okay to make mistakes. I learn from the mistake and I try something different. And if I don't make it, if I can't solve the problem, well, so be it. Right? There's all kinds of problems I cannot solve now or 10 years from now. So if I can solve it, good. If I cannot, I try a different way. If I cannot still, I tried. The point is, there's no point being uneasy, feeling turbulent or being stressed about this, right? So when Huike realized, well, this is not that real, is it? Then he was able to discover true peace within. So this is something that you have to realize yourself. Something you have to get a sense of yourself. Maybe right now you got it. Maybe tomorrow, maybe next time you think about this story, or maybe 10 years from now, maybe even the next lifetime. Doesn't matter. You will get it sooner or later. All right. So we will call this topic here is awakening by emptiness. So here the emptiness is the emptiness of your mind. To say your mind is empty doesn't mean that your mind doesn't exist. It's saying that you cannot find it. It doesn't have a fixed size. Your mind is not this big. Your mind is not, that big. You can't say that. You don't have any evidence to say that. Your mind is not Chinese. It's not American. It's not Indian. It's not Australian. It's not French. Your mind is not male or female either, even. Your mind. You may be conditioned to think like a boy or girl, a man and woman, a Chinese man or American woman, whatever that means. But your mind can be conditioned to think otherwise. That's what we mean, the emptiness of the mind. And that's the beauty of it. It can be conditioned in a different way. It can be conditioned to think and feel and act like a poor, ordinary, mundane person. Or you can be conditioned to think and act like a Zen master. That is the emptiness of the mind. It's not fixed a certain way. Your mind is not fixed because of your parents' genes. So when you cannot find your mind, you decide this moment where your mind wants to go. You can continue to worry about whatever happens at work, or you can say, okay, I'm going to try focusing on my breath or focusing on my body, just being aware for a few minutes and see what happens. Just give it a try, see what happens. And the more you practice this, just pure awareness, and the more you can see how beautiful it is, that moment by moment, peace is the real thing. It's as real as it gets. Okay, so let's look at the third story, which we did not get to look at last week. Now, we looked at the first patriarch, which is Bodhidharma. We look at the story about the second patriarch with the first patriarch, right? And now, Huike, the second patriarch, he became the master. Bodhidharma is gone now, and then he is the lineage holder. He is the Zen master now, and a lay Buddhist. Now this time he's a lay Buddhist. He came to visit. He's already 40 years old. He came to pay respect to the master. Master. Oh, I'm sorry. I think we skipped somebody. So Huike is the second patriarch, and then Sun Can is the third patriarch, right? So we skip his story. All right, so Sun Can is the master now, the third patriarch, and so a lay Buddhist came to learn from him. He said, "Master, this disciple is afflicted with a chronic illness. I'm sick. It's a chronic illness. I beg the master to absolve me of my sins." So the idea of sin, you have sinned, is somewhat different from that of Christianity, right? In Christianity, it's something like you had acted against God's will. Now, in Buddhism, the idea of sin is more like bad karma. I'm sick, so my suffering, my unhappiness, my challenges in life, including my poor health, being sick, is it's a result of bad karma. It's cause and effect. So I must have done some bad karma in the past, whether in this life or in the previous lifetime. So that's my sin. So, if it's something I done in my previous lifetime, I cannot do anything about it anymore. So help me find a way to get rid of this my sins, get rid of my bad karma. Master, maybe you have the power to get rid of my bad karma, my sins. So the master said, "Bring me your sins and I will absolve it for you." Does that technique sound familiar, right? So the layman again was silent for a long time, so he never thought of it this way. And he said, "I cannot find my sins." The master said, "I have absolved you of your sins." So now this is the same application of the previous story, but it can be applied to anything, and that is your sins, your bad karma, your suffering is also empty. Now, the lay Buddhist, he was at the right place at the right time, and then he had an awakening. So he said he understood, just like Huike. He said, "Today I see the master. I see the master." He's not talking about, "Oh, I see you are 50 years old, you're a monk, you're a great master, you look kind." No, he said, "I see why you are the master. I understand the teaching, I understand your teaching, I understand what you mean. My question is resolved. Today I see the master and I know what the Sangha is." Sangha is the community of monks. So you are, your master, you are a great example of the Sangha. You preserve the Dharma and you teach to others. That's the Sangha. So you say abide in the Buddha, the Dharma, the Sangha, the three jewels, the three treasures. So but what is the Buddha? I see you, and you are very wise. You help me resolve my question. But what is the Buddha and what is the Dharma? And the master said, this mind is the Buddha. This mind is the Dharma. The Dharma and the Buddha are not two, the Sangha likewise. Okay, I think I just made a mistake in the English translation. Yeah, this is what I thought. So we are dealing with Huike, so the second master, right? And this is going to be, the lay Buddha is going to be the third master. Yeah, I'm right. Okay. Sorry about that confusion. Story is the same. So the layman say, now what is the Buddha and the Dharma and the master, which is Huike, right? Huike said, this mind is the Buddha and this mind is the Dharma and the Buddha are not two. The Sangha likewise. So remember, we heard story about this in the later generations of Zen Masters, right? This mind is the Buddha. So it comes from the very beginning. This mind is the Buddha. This mind is the Dharma. Well, but when the mind is awakened, that is the real awakened one. That is the real enlightened one. And what the enlightened one sees and speaks is the Dharma. That's what the Dharma is. That's what the Buddha's teaching is the enlightened mind seeing the truth and telling you the truth, telling you the way it is, suchness, thus, the way it is, telling you the way it is. That's the Dharma. So the Dharma and the Buddha are not two, and the person telling you is the Sangha. So they are 3 and 1, 1 and 3. Where did I hear that before? The 3 musketeers. 3 is 1 and 1 is 3. Okay. So, the lay Buddhist, he said, today I know that the nature of sin is not inside, it's not outside, it's not in between inside and outside. Yeah. Likewise is my mind. So, if you think about where is your mind, the first concept, the first answer may be the mind is inside my body somewhere. Yeah. In the same way, just like the mind, so is the sin. It's not my bad karma, my sin, the mistakes I've made. It's not inside of me. It's not outside of me. It's not between inside and outside. So is my mind. My mind is not inside, my mind is not outside, my mind is not between. That doesn't seem like an answer, right? Where's your mind? Tell me where's your mind. The mind is not inside, it's not outside, it's not between. So what did you say? You didn't say anything. No. You did say something. he did say something. It's not inside. Many people think the mind is inside. People think my karma is inside of me. I carry this with me. No, it's not inside. That's saying a lot. But it's not outside. If it's not inside, it must be outside. No, it's not outside. That is saying a lot. Well, is it like in between? The boundary? No, it's not there either. So the awakening by emptiness is not about giving you a solid answer. And that's something about the Zen practice sometimes can be a little bit frustrating, because you ask a Zen master something, he doesn't give you a straightforward answer. Why? Well, there are many reasons. For one thing, a lot of this cannot be described with words. Okay? Okay, so instead of trying to give you a solid answer which can be misleading, Zen masters or Buddhist masters often talk about what it is not, what the true reality is not, what your true mind is not. All right? Your true mind is not your body, it's not your brain. But it is not separated from your body or your brain either. So I can tell you what it is not. It's easier to say what it is not than to say what it is. And you have to figure out what it is, But don't think of it as something very solid. That's the difficulty. Another reason that Zen masters or Buddhist masters a lot of times do not give you a straightforward answer is that it's like this. You are a father and your kid is doing homework. And the kid says, "Dad, I don't know how to do this homework." So as a father, as a parent, do you do his homework for him? Do you tell him the answer to the homework? Or do you give your kid hints so that the kid can figure out the answer for himself? That's what counts, right? So in the same way, by telling you an answer, it doesn't make you enlightened. It will still become a label, a name, a knowledge item. You had to figure this out yourself, okay? All right, so Hui Ke did not actually say anything solid, but then by prodding, by poking the disciple in the right way, he was awakened. So the master was impressed. He ordained him, obviously with his consent. The lay Buddhist, he said, "I want to become a Sangha, I want to become a monk now." He said, "You are a treasure. I give you the name Sen Can." Sen is Sangha, and Can is radiate, like the radiance of a jewel. Sen Can. It's like saying you are the jewel. You are a treasure of monks, among the monks. Okay? From then on, his illness gradually healed. Now, we don't have a lot of stories, other stories about the third master, the third patriarch, Sen Can, but we do have a piece of work from him, and that's a really, really beautiful piece. It's a poem that he wrote called Trust in Mind. It has also been translated as Faith in Mind, but I feel Trust in Mind is better. So we did, Shifu and our team did a translation of Trust in Mind. So one day I would like to give a course on that. I have quoted, taken some selections from that long poem later in this document. Okay, so let's take a look. So the lay Buddhist here is 40 years old. He became a monk, and eventually he became the third Chan patriarch of China. Let's take a look at a few of his teachings, a few sayings. So it's down there. Oh, by the way, on the side here, you can see in the Google document, there's the headings, the section headings, right? If you don't know, if you can't see that when you look at the document, you click on the file. No, not file, sorry. View. Huh? Wait a minute. I'm a little confused now. Yeah, there's a sidebar, outline sidebar. All right, so you select that, and this will show up. So this document will show our topics. Our first topic, which is Zen in daily life, and these are the listing of the stories there. Don't let me down, just as I heard Dragon of Spring, ignoring the emperor. The second topic, catching the thief, my own treasure. Remember those stories? And we are on the third topic, no merit, pacify my mind, absolving my sin. Okay, and so if you look down further, there's a I didn't set selected teachings. There's excerpts from Trusting Mind from the third patriarch. Let's just read through. I'm not gonna explain this here. We don't have time for that. Let's just read through this poem. The supreme way is not difficult unless you pick and choose. Simply forsake love and hatred, and you will thoroughly understand. A hairbreadth difference sets heaven and earth apart. For the way to manifest likes and doesn't echo what we learned in the previous stories. Intrinsically complete, like vast space, without lack, without excess. It is from grasping and rejecting that one becomes deficient. So we are intrinsically complete with all the possible wisdom. But because we pick and choose, we grasp, we hold on, we reject this, we want this, we reject that, then we become narrow focused, we become deficient, we feel we are so poor and little, and we need a lot of things we don't have. So it is a feeling that we have. It's a misunderstanding of what we actually are. The more you speak and ponder, the less you concur with the way. Cease all talking and pondering, and there's nowhere you cannot reach. As soon as right and wrong arise, the mind is scattered and lost. I'm picking excerpts, right? So we're not reading from the start to the end. With clinging, one loses discernment and will surely go astray. Let everything go and be genuine. The essence neither goes nor stays. The wise makes no efforts. The fools entangle themselves. When we become really good at this Zen practice, life becomes more and more effortless, and our mind becomes very peaceful, and we become wiser actually. So it's a win-win-win situation. But the fools entangle themselves. Let's not be those fools. The duality of all things comes from false discrimination. We discern, we judge, but these judgments are based on false information. We make stupid judgments. And so we falsely discriminate and get ourselves into trouble. In the Dharma realm of true suchness, there's neither self nor others. Right? So I have the Chinese verse original there. Okay. So now we have only had 3 stories on this awakening of emptiness topic. There are many, many stories in a similar, with the same topic, but we won't go into that now. I'll give you a taste. Now let's look at what I provided, the discussions, the contemplation questions, and the exercises for you. Yeah. So with the no merit story, remember the Bodhidharma with the emperor, right? We can discuss. You can discuss with your friends or classmates. The principle of causality, cause and effect, is fundamental in Buddhism. An oversimplified statement is good begets good, evil begets evil. It's a simple statement. It's true, but it misses a lot of the nuances, right? So, but it's a simple way to understand it. So when Master Bodhidharma tells the emperor all the efforts he has done to promote Buddhism, which is supposed to be very good karma, has no merit, the Bodhidharma contradict the Buddha's teaching. So some of the Zen Masters' teaching seem to contradict traditional Buddhist Dharma teaching, right? Now, there's a purpose for that. And of course, in the end, there is no contradiction. There's no way that enlightened master, a great master like Bodhidharma, will contradict the Buddha. There's no way. But it does seem to contradict. Why? It's because our understanding of the Dharma is not deep enough. So he wants to point out from a different perspective to help you understand deeper the nature of merits, the nature of good, the nature of doing good, right? So the hint is read Bodhidharma's replies carefully. If I can give you a worldly example, let's say, so everybody needs money, right? So everybody needs to get a job and earn money to support themselves and support their family. So money is good. Money is valuable. And here comes somebody and say, money is terrible. It does nothing but to hurt you. Now it seems to contradict the traditional idea. Money is valuable. We need to get some money. We need to earn enough money. Somebody says, no, it's useless. He's contradicting you. But don't look at that contradiction as a bad thing. Maybe that contradiction will help you see another side of money, right? So you can see how this, he's not lying. But he's pointing out a different side of this whole reality here, okay? All right, so the second discussion question, if I stop doing any good deeds because of this koan, this story, does that make me a smarter and more advanced Buddhist than an emperor? Why or why not? Yeah. All right, so the second story pacified my mind. Discussion question, Bodhidharma ignoring huike in the winter snow seemed especially harsh. Name other disciplines, training that require almost inhuman training to succeed. Harsh training to succeed. It could be physical, it could be mental. You devote a lot of time, squeeze every little bit out of you in order to go through the training. So the question is, do you know of other disciplines that that have that kind of characteristics? Is there anything in the world for which you are willing to endure such harsh training? In other words, yeah, it's tough, but it's worth it. No matter how hard it is, I want to go through with it. It's worth it. Do you have something like that in your life? Okay? Number 4, how important is peace of mind to you? What is the deepest or most satisfying peace you have ever experienced in your life so far? So let's share that, share our experiences. Number 5 is related. Do you have a way to calm your mind when you need to? We all get agitated, right? So when we get agitated, how do we calm ourselves? Share your methods, whether it's a Buddhist method or non-Buddhist, okay? So we can learn from each other. Absolving sin. When we have made mistakes, what are good ways to deal with it? How do you deal with your past mistakes? That's a good question, isn't it? We all have done something wrong. Maybe we have hurt other people in the past, and now we think about it, we regret it. Oh, I shouldn't have done that, I feel sorry. But the past is past, and you cannot go back to the past, right? So when we have made mistakes, what are the ways to deal with that? What are Buddhist ways of repenting our bad karma? Can a Buddhist master remove our sins? So in other religions, for example, Christianity, there was a period of time where you can pay the church some money and then have your have your sins absolved, right? In Buddhism, some people think of it that way too. Oh, if I donate some money to the master, to the Buddhist temple, then my karma will be removed. Is that true? Is that not true? There's no straightforward answer for this. Okay, there's a lot of nuances here. Does the emptiness of karma or emptiness of sins encourage unethical conduct? Why not? Yeah. So I saw earlier there was a chat question. Somebody said, I have one question. If I continue to make the same sin, does that mean that my sin is still inside or inherently who I am? If not, then why would a person continue to keep making the same mistake? Is it conscious? Okay, so this is a big question. If I continue to make the same mistakes, let's say, why? Why do people continue to make the same mistakes? Yeah? Is it my consciousness? Well, in a way it is. It's my conscious conditioning. We have become habituated to think and react in a fixed way, in a more or less fixed way. Yeah? Some of that reaction is good. Some of that automatic reaction is bad. So, sometimes our mind goes on autopilot. When we see somebody criticizing us, we can go into autopilot and immediately get upset and try to defend ourselves instead of calmly examining what they say, whether there's any truth in it or not. The key here is that how do we change my own behavior? Yeah? We'll talk about this a little bit later. If your karma, second question, if your karma has been a mixture of bad and good thus far, how would one approach changing the karma to do good? It's a similar question. Also, how do we determine what good is? What I have seen is good is not another, and vice versa. That's a good question. Good is emptiness. Good is empty because, what is good in one situation may not be good in another situation. Or what is good deed for one person may hurt another person, right? Let's say your country, you're defending your country as a soldier. So you carry your weapons, you go on the battleground, and then in order to do good for your country, you have to kill your enemy. But obviously, this deed itself is good or bad. You're defending your country, you're saving lives, but then you're killing others. So a lot of things in life are very complicated. It's not just one side. You cannot simply say it's good or bad. But that's something we have to accept. That's reality. So the key here is still, how do we change our behavior? If we know there's a behavior that we don't want and is hurtful, how do we change that? In fact, earlier, we didn't look at this. I provided a document called Absolving Sin, a Buddhist explanation. So this is extra material. You can read it on your own time if you like. But anyway, let's just quickly look at it. So this going to a little more, give you more information about how do Buddhists deal with our bad karma, our past mistakes. Yeah. So in Buddhism, absolving sin is not about a deity or external force wiping away your transgression. No, it's not. It's about what you do yourself to get rid of that. All right. And there are the different ways. Step one is recognizing and acknowledging your own wrong actions. You must be honest and acknowledge to yourself, to a shifu, to somebody else, hey, I made a mistake. The ability to say, I'm sorry, I made a mistake is very important. I know people who live all their life and never would be able to say, I was wrong, I made a mistake. Even they know inside, but they can never say it, right? So recognizing, acknowledging wrong actions. That's the first step. Second step, amending one's behavior, change our behavior so that we are turning away from negative patterns of behavior. All right? How do we do that? That's a big topic, but the key involves changing your thinking. Changing your idea when you encounter a situation. You encounter a situation in the past and your reaction was not good and you created bad karma. The key is, if you're faced with the same situation, are you able to look at it differently? This is the key. This is the key. And when you are able to look at it differently in a wiser way, your thinking that follows, that is your reaction that follows, will become different. That is how you do it, all right? Practicing the Dharma. Meditation helps. Practicing mindfulness helps. Cultivating virtues like compassion and wisdom helps to purify the mind and create positive karma to counteract the negative, all right? Another way is Buddhist rituals. So in Chinese Buddhism, there are Buddhist services, rituals like the 88 Buddhist repentance ceremony. There's a big one called the Emperor Liang Wu's precious repentance. It's the same emperor that we just learned, read a story about. So he actually facilitated. He asked the Buddhist masters in his court to create this piece of text, this ritual book, which is a very beautiful teaching. So people go through this bowing and chanting process and to repent. So you do a service, you go through a service. That's one way. Another is understanding emptiness. Okay, understanding the emptiness of karma. That doesn't mean that, okay, bad karma is empty, hurt is empty, so I think about it, it's gone. It's not like that. It's not like that. So you need to understand emptiness deeper, right? So that helps break free from the cycle of negative actions, turn the misdeed into a valuable learning experience. Ultimately, sin has no solid existence, nor does the ego self. And therefore, there's no sin to absolve, no one that needs to be freed. This number 4 is the highest teaching among these 4, and that's what the third patriarch realized at the point. Okay, so go ahead and read this document on your own time. Whoop, I used up my time. So, but let's just quickly go through the rest of the contemplations. We look through the discussions, and we're going to discuss in a few moments, I believe, question number 3 and 4. Is that what I said earlier? Is it 3 or 4 or 4 and 5? 3 and 4, right?
Yes, 3 and 4.
Thank you. So when we go into the breakout room, we're going to discuss number 3. What are some disciplines that you know that actually, in order to be really good at it, you have to go through a very harsh training, right? Name some of these disciplines. And also, is there one of these that you are willing to go through the harsh training for? You think it's worth it? Let's talk about that. Number 4, how important is peace of mind to you? What is your most satisfying peace of mind experience? Okay, all right, so let's quickly look at the contemplations. So this, you think about it on your own. If the fruits of the human and heavenly realms are small fruits, which is what Bodhidharma said, what are the big fruits that Bodhidharma wanted to show the emperor but was not successful? Yeah. When emperor asked the question, who is it that faces me? From the emperor, we can already sense his frustration with this exchange and confusion with Bodhidharma. Was this done on purpose? Did Bodhidharma try to confuse the emperor on purpose? Was there a reason for Bodhidharma's don't know answer? You never get an answer, right? Who are you? Don't know. What's the purpose? Number 3, if you have taken classes or retreats from myself, from Shifu, do you recall other stories of Bodhidharma told by Shifu? There's a particular story that I told quite a few times, yeah, about a jewel. What is the most precious thing in the world? Does anybody remember that story? Either way, you can go research on the internet about Bodhidharma's life and stories. Number 4, reason to yourself why we should be grateful for the people we have helped instead of being proud to have helped them. So here's the Buddhist idea that's very interesting. If I help you, I give you some money, I give you some food, I give you a job, I should be thankful to you. That's one way to not cling to my good deeds, not be arrogant, right? But there is a good reason for that. How can we turn this into a practice? Number 5, explain why we should respect to our teachers and the sages and holy ones while thinking myself as being equal to them. So on the one hand, we should certainly highly respect the wise ones, our Shifu, our teachers. But on the other hand, we should think we are equal. Now that's another idea that seems to be contradicting, but it's not. It's not. So reason, figure this out. Bodhidharma's unusual approach to guide disciples set a tone for Chan Buddhism or Zen Buddhism. As we continue our studies of Zen, contemplate on how later Chinese Zen masters expanded on this unique style of teaching. What other teaching methods, devices have they come up with? You find your mind? Where is it? Where is it? Absolving sin. In your cultivation journal, write down your current understanding of emptiness. Now, admittedly, we haven't said a lot about emptiness, and it's a very profound topic, but whatever you know now, write it down. And if you're very confused about emptiness, it's okay. Write down your confusion as well. That's the thing about a journal. You write down what you know and what you're confused with, what you don't know. And when you look back later, you will learn from your own journal. All right, exercises. These are things that Shifu encourage you to do. Of course, nobody can force you to do any of this, but we encourage you to do it. 1, research on the life and teachings of Bodhidharma. What other stories are there? Practice letting go of our good deeds without giving up doing good. We want to continue to do good, but letting go of the idea, oh, I have done good deeds. Number 3, practice meditation daily, at least 20 minutes a day, as a way to experience peace of mind, as well as the training of concentration and clarity of mind. Concentration and clarity. Number 4, try to maintain the state of no thought for a few minutes during each meditation. So I may be focusing on the breath, I may be focusing on the body, but then at the end, spend a few minutes not focusing on anything, just maintaining a pure knowing, pure awareness, no thought. Try to experience that directly. A mind that is awake but not thinking about anything. To get in touch with the knowing part of your mind. About absolving your sin, make a list of the things you have done in the past that will back karma. Explain for each action what are possible ways to amend the mistake. Take action on at least one of them. Read a note. Read the excerpt. Practice prostrations as a form of repentance. Bowing to the Buddha. Mindfully prostrate 30 times a day, or more or less, as your physical condition allows. Okay, so these are the recommended exercises, practices that you do. Let's now go into the breakout rooms. Today we're going to combine some of the breakout rooms, some of the smaller breakout rooms, so that we aim to have 8, 9, 10 or more people in one single breakout room, so to facilitate the discussion. All right? So again, the questions are, what are the harsh trainings, and are you willing to go through any one of them? And 2, share a peace of mind experience. Okay, let's go.
Hey, for everyone. We'll see you back here at the bottom of the hour.
Yes, we'll.
Can you please type the 2 questions in the chat so we have an idea? We might forget it as we talk.
Yes, the host, please put the questions in the chat, in the public chat, okay? Broadcast.
Yes.
I guess. Thank you. So remember to click, if you have not, it'll take a couple minutes for our TA to assign. Make sure you give us your email that you use to join the Zoom, so we can pre-assign you to a group. That will help, make the process faster. And
you should be able to choose the room today. If you see,
look, can we assign them first? Like the Taiwan group, assign them to the Taiwan group?
They have been assigned. Shifu, they have been assigned, but for whatever reason,
okay.
Yeah.
Those of you who did not give us your Zoom email, we cannot pre-assign you. So you will have to assign you every time, every session. Okay. So please give us your email. And do give us a screen name that we can understand. For example, yeah. Okay, you're gonna have some new people in your group.
Christina and Mark, you have difficulty to join the room.
I'm sorry. Was
Yeah,
that
we
you?
have to hear Mark and Christina haven't joined the room.
This is Christina. I am with Swati's room. Swati. I'm with her group since day one.
Yeah, it's okay. So are you able to choose the room, Christina?
I am not. Can you tell me, can you?
Yeah, I'm going to attempt to do something here.
Yeah, Christina, you should be able to choose the room.
Yeah.
And this is Mark. I'm supposed to be in the Tahoe group.
Okay.
I have no choice.
And
So
Okay.
you can join the Boulder. Oh, Tahoe. Okay, Tahoe.
so I've moved Mark there already, and Christina. So some
Yeah, I
some of
think
this,
they are in. They are all in now.
yeah, some of this at home is they people refuse to join, right? Like they don't know how to accept to go to the assigned room. And then there's a second class where people um, are reluctant to go because they're not in the room that they want to be in. But everybody was assigned at the beginning of the class already. Yeah. But the one thing I I think we should de-emphasize
I think it's still live streaming.
oh, let me see if I can pause the live streaming.
Yeah, we do not need it to pause. So at the end, we will end the streaming.
But we need to de-emphasize the room placements.
Yeah, I already put the notes on the streaming thing.
Mhm.
Should end the breakout discussion at 9:30, right? Hello?
Yes, Shifu.
And today we start late, so do you want to keep the discussion
No,
for
we always
30
end
minutes
it.
or you
We always
want
end at 9:30. We always end at 9:30. Okay.
okay.
Are you bringing people
So
back, Jesse?
sometimes Shifu,
Yes, Shifu.
sometimes Shifu go a little bit longer, but then we try to end this discussion at 9:30. So sometimes they only get 15 minutes. Sometimes they get 25 minutes. So it's gonna be a couple minutes before they are forced end, right? Okay.
It's interesting. I am not able to close all rooms, maybe because the setting. Yeah. Oh, now
When,
it's okay. So it will be.
when you tell them, yeah,
Yes.
when you force them to end, it will still give them 2 minutes.
Okay.
They have 40 seconds.
Right. So today we have like 4 big groups, right?
We have
4 big groups and a Taiwan group.
6 groups.
6
total.
groups, Shifu.
Wait, 6? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right, 6 including Taiwan. So 5 bigger groups. So let's see how you went today. Oh, we should close the share screen. Okay, everyone, are we all back? Okay. We should. Are we resuming? We should resume recording, right? Okay. So, would people like to share what are the harsh disciplines that we know of? That should be a quick one. Come on, let's go.
Professional athletes
Professional
and
athlete, yes.
military people,
Military, yes. Navy
medicine,
SEALs.
surgeons,
Okay, surgeons.
and
Yeah, they have to work like 36 hours at a time, right? I
yes,
heard.
probably any form of PhD. Like they have to do research by themselves under one professor. It's not easy. Kind of
That's true.
very
That's
individual
true.
pursuit. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. All right. What other disciplines have we talked about that are really harsh? But a lot of people. So we see that they are very harsh disciplines, but many people in this world are willing to go through with it, right?
So our group also talked about the long-term retreat. It's pretty hard.
The meditation
Both
retreats.
physical and mental.
Yes, actually, the 7-day retreat is pretty harsh.
And our group had a very interesting discussion. Yes, we did mention, Kung Fu training, any special art artist or athletics, they all have to go through very strenuous training. But there are 2 groups which is stand out. One is mother, as in the role of we are willing to take any steps. We are willing to go, any journey to protect our children. So actually, but this actually came from a father. He pointed that out, that his wife was a role model. I think that's, at least that was my understanding. And
That's pretty cool.
Other one would be Shifu, who took a very different journey from the rest of us. That's, in our eyes, would be very unhuman, very harsh trainings. Yeah, Amitabha.
Okay. Anybody want to add to that? Are there some disciplines that we missed?
Yeah, I said losing weight and dieting.
Losing weight. All right. That's harsh. Okay. Yeah.
Also,
Okay. So
the rishis in India, they, I think, similar to Buddhist monks, they would have to sit in the Himalayas in the real cold, austere
yes,
conditions, hardly any clothing, and would meditate for months and years together with almost little food and the harshest of circumstances to get
yes,
moksha.
yeah, the ascetics. Yeah, the ascetics. Yeah.
Ascetics, yes.
Yeah, they go through extreme conditions. Yeah. All right. So the next part is, which discipline are you willing to go through, even though you know that it could be, long, arduous, and harsh training? Would people like to share what they were personally willing to take on their own? Do we have medical students here?
Sorry, what's the second question? I think we might have looked at another one.
No, we're looking at the second part of the first question, which is what are the disciplines or career or training that you're willing to take on yourself, even though you know it's gonna be, long and harsh training, but you feel that I want to do it, I'm willing to do it. Would people like to share that? It's a little bit personal.
I will share. Actually, it's our group's consensus, so it's not really personal anymore. And our general conclusion is the path to enlightenment is the only thing worthwhile, although we are not ready to jump right into it like Shifu did.
The path to enlightenment, all right. Yes, that's quintessential, harsh training. All right. What else?
Shifu,
I'm sure there are. Go ahead.
One member in our group shared that, reflecting back, he said that as a child, he went through a lot of harsh instructions or trainings from his parents, but he was very grateful that he thought it is necessary to take those steps in order to be a responsible human being. And now he feels like he's being a little harsh on his kids, and he hopes that one day his kids would understand that he's doing this because he took the same path he wished that they would understand as well.
Okay, so that's the tiger mom or tiger dad. All right, that happens quite a lot in especially Asian cultures. Yes, go ahead.
Shifu, what I want to comment is, rather than think of it as people who are willing to take the harsh journey for training, the irony I want to point out is that, in fact, we've all keep on reliving life in this samsaric cycle without realizing we are enduring countless unimaginable potential of suffering, and we unconsciously dive in not realizing we are taking on this. We're talking about, are you willing to take a harsh journey for training? And yet we are in our ignorance doing this constantly, life after life, without realizing, thinking that we didn't realize that this is an even more utmost question. Reflecting back on the idea, well, taking on the Bodhisattva journey toward enlightenment is a harsh journey. It is on the opposite. It is the most liberating possibility of relief. So this should not be seen as a difficult task to enlightenment to take on that journey. It is as welcoming as one should be seen, rather than seeing, wow, we have to meditate. This is so hard. This is as refreshing a possibility. We are seeing things completely upside down.
Okay, so what Sai is saying is that actually people who are not willing to take on the difficult journey of enlightenment is actually taking the harshest journey, which is to be trapped in this samsara, living life after life after life, facing old age, illness, and death every lifetime, unable to get out. That actually is the harshest, the most suffering journey that you take on, right? And by not doing anything, by just living your life, by not looking for a way to get out, that is actually the toughest thing. But it's hard to see. It's hard to see because people are used to seeing short-term danger and short-term suffering. Yeah. Okay. Anybody else on this topic? Have something to share on this topic?
Some of the team members shared the name of the disciplines is tolerance, determination, and perseverance, and also effort. Well, they're the name of some of the disciplines.
So the 6 paramitas, right? The 6 perfections of ethical conduct or precepts, and tolerance, and perseverance, and meditation, right? These are all not easy. They're not easy, and they take a long time. Yeah, but they're willing to take on those. That's great. That's great. Okay. Anything else before we move on to the second discussion question? Okay, so one of the things that I joined a discussion group, and one of the insight was that the harsh discipline you are willing to take on your own, actually, because you are willing to take it on your own, then it's actually not that harsh anymore. You may actually enjoy it, right? Whereas other people may look at you, wow, you have to work so hard. Why do you work so hard? But yourself doesn't feel it's that tough. So somebody earlier say, oh, I think Shifu's job is very hard, but I enjoy it. It's definitely not easy, but I totally enjoy it. So it's not, it's worth it, or it's not as hard as some people think. For example, somebody say, oh, Shifu, you had to study so many sutras. You have to, do this and do all this teaching and all of that. But then, to me, that's just everyday life, right? So the thing is, this difficulty, it may be in your mind. This difficulty in your mind. For example, I would look at somebody doing a 40-hour-a-week job, day after day, and I say, wow, that is tough. I don't want to do that. Where, it's only 40 hours, 8 hours a day, but it's not so meaningful to me. Then I say, wow, how can you endure that? But so many people endure that, right? So the key here is in this question is when it is meaningful to you, then how harsh can it be? Yeah, even though it is, you know, a lot of training. All right, so we move on to the second question. I don't know how many of you got to the second question, which is how important is peace of mind to you, and would you like to share an experience of you that you had that was really peaceful? Do we have somebody to share with us?
This is Grace. For our group, we just simply voted right off the bat. You know, a scale of 1 to 5, who 5 being the highest priority, and unanimous. We all raised our hand for 5. And the things that brought us the deepest, most satisfying peace, we list out meditation, doing things when we're really focused, and the other one was nature. And so those are the 3 things that bring us a lot of peace of mind.
I didn't catch that. What was the first thing you said? The 5. What is the 5 thing?
I'm sorry. The first thing we did was we voted to say on a scale of 1 to 5, how important is peace of mind to you? And we all agreed that is the utmost importance.
Okay.
And then the second part was the second question was, what is the deepest or most satisfying peace you have experienced in your life? And
from meditation.
And our discussion was, I guess, meditation retreats, deep meditation. The one was when we're really focused on doing our work. And so I guess that's in some ways like a working meditation. And then being in nature.
Being in nature, okay.
Yeah, like
that's
flower
good.
arrangement, you know, enjoying the flowers.
Yeah. Well, Shifu's in Colorado, and then I certainly understand that. There's a lot of nature here, and it's really nice. But I'm moving back to California at the beginning of March. Yeah, okay. Thanks for sharing. Anybody else like to share their insights on peace of mind?
Okay, if we forgive ourselves and forgive others, and also cheer for others' accomplishment or success, and stop being harsh on yourself.
Okay, so that's a nice take. If we can forgive others and forgive ourselves, then we'll have peace. That is nice. Yeah, that is nice. So if we can think about what are the times that we are not peaceful, we are not happy because we are not willing to forgive other people, or we are not happy because we are not willing to forgive ourselves. Yeah, so that happens, right? That happens quite a lot. Yeah. And then sometimes we are too harsh on ourselves. So probably those people who have a perfectionist tendency tend to be too harsh on themselves. I don't know. I don't think I'm a perfectionist.
You're not.
Okay. Any other people? Anybody else want to share? Any other group?
I want to share about the peaceful mind. Maybe when we are in peace, we can't think what is peace, what is not peaceful. But when we are in conflict, maybe that moment it's an examination about how to get peace. For example, the Chan koan. I think the Zen Masters often cause many conflict about their dialogues, but in their minds they don't have any emotions. They just want to express their wisdom or their or your views. Sorry. And so in our daily life, when we want to express something, but we put so much emotion to others, not the core views. So if we think we are another person, to look at the two persons are conflicting each other about their views, so we can, as a peaceful mind, to analyze or to face the different things, to understand others, and to others understand what is the real mind. Thank you.
Okay, so we have probably have experience when we see two people arguing and get emotional, and you are the third person, you are the bystander, or you're trying to help them. You can remain calm, right, and not caught in their emotions, so that you can perhaps see both sides and help them. You can remain peaceful. Now, if I am the person in an argument right now, right, my mind is not peace, can I do the same? Can I jump out of my own mind? Or can I jump out of my own ego self? If I can, then I can be my own side bystander. I can become the bystander of this argument I'm engaging, and then return to calm. Yeah, that would be a nice practice.
Yes.
Okay. And also, when we don't have a lot of peace, it is good to think about why is that and how I can get peaceful. All right, Sweta, you want to say something?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So I think I have found peace when we kind of really internalize, I'm not the body, I'm not even the mind. And that is a very peaceful feeling. And when I take it further, let's say when I think, hey, when I die, I'm not emotional about it, but when I look down, everything would look so trivial, and all the things we worry about will look so small. Whatever those things are, right? Material, social, anything, everything will look so stupid, so trivial. And the moment I think, well, death is such a beautiful feeling, I think that gives me a lot of peace of mind. So then, instead of worrying about, oh my God, what will happen if I die? I embrace that feeling. I think that gives me a lot of peace, because I have a knowing mind. I'm not emotional about it.
Right.
It gives me a lot. Yeah.
That's a really good point. When for those who have faced death, you look at everything else that would seem so trivial, right? And then you probably have the ability to jump out of that. A lot of us get caught in small things that ultimately doesn't matter at all. So it is a Buddhist practice. It actually is a Buddhist practice to think of death is imminent. You can face death anytime, any moment, and that gives you a whole new perspective on how you live your everyday life. Okay. All right, Greg, would I just share something?
I do, yes. Thank you, Shifu. I was thinking about the different times when, I have that peace of mind, and I'm just was reminded of a story that I heard about Buddha that would periodically mention to Ananda, hey, aren't the mountains beautiful today? Isn't the sky, blue or something like that? And, I think it was just to take a moment to maybe, because Ananda, correct me if I'm wrong, great memory, big thinker. And so this is like taking a moment to just sort of, enjoy, nature and life without a lot of thought. And I think that's when I have the biggest peace of mind. It comes to me when I'm like, I'll look at the mountains or the trees, or, sometimes I'm in the elevator at work and I just have a few moments and I'm not doing much thinking.
Right.
It's not, yeah.
So that's a good point. Not doing a lot of thinking actually is a good way to get peace. So in other words, letting the conscious part of your mind take a break is actually really, really nice. So that is going back to the knowing part of your mind. It's okay to not think about anything for a while. Just let the awareness be present. Let the knowing be present. Right? So there's a related question in the chat room. Does the emptiness or stillness means having a knowing mind? Well, the knowing mind is always present. If you think about it, every moment of your life, there's always knowing. Always. That is the baseline, right? And it is the conscious part that disturbs our peace. So we already have that greatest peace. All right, Miranda, James, would you like to share something?
Okay. I would like to just let Sveta know there was one time I was near death experience because I have a huge reaction to my chemotherapy, and I kind of threw up and diarrhea. We were very bad for about an hour. And I remember I was so depleted. But my mind, I keep on chanting the Heart Sutra that is going to help me to get rid of all my sufferings in my life. And after that huge throw up, that I probably depleted all the toxic stuff in my system. And I remember I can hardly walk. I just lay in bed and I talk to myself. Strangely, I never felt so peaceful in my life. And I remember I said to myself, if I have to go this minute, and that's okay. If that's what meant for me to go through, and let me accept that and just go through with that. And I really experienced a lot of support from chanting the Heart Sutra, and also for the deep peace of mind of acceptance of whatever will come, and I just accept it and be feeling peaceful about it. And this is really quite a strange experience that I would experience that during that moment.
Yeah, so thank you for sharing that profound experience. Death is something that we all will go through. And in fact, we have gone through this so many times already. We have just forgotten it. So let us not be afraid, since it's something we all will face, but rather how we live this moment, each moment. Let's live it to the full, meaningfully. And if we can maintain peace and clarity this moment and every moment, then that is really meaningful already. Okay? All right, our time is up. Let us conclude the class with the dedication. Let's put our palms together. We take a few moments for you to make your own dedication. May our studying the Zen Masters together today, may the merits from this effort and sharing with each other, may the merits be dedicated to all the participants so that we can properly repent our past bad karma, so that we can gain clarity to face our future peacefully, so that we can maintain that mindfulness and stillness and peace. And we also dedicate the merits to all sentient beings in the world. May they all achieve that clarity and peace, that wisdom as well. May we all live together on this earth in harmony. May the disasters and the suffering end soon. Okay, let us meet each other next week at the same time. We have 2 more classes. Okay. Take care.
Together, and thank you, Shifu, for today's class.
Thank you.
阿弥陀佛。
阿弥陀佛。
阿弥陀佛. See you next week, 师父.
See you next